I found a movie that objectively is bad, but unintentionally it's one of the weirdest and funniest movies I've ever seen, and yet somehow nearly no one has talked about it, which is crazy because it might be my new favorite bad movie ever. Don't get me wrong, it's very bad. To be honest, it might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen, but it's bad in such a beautiful way. The acting is terrible, the plot is full of holes, and a significant amount of the time, the actor's mouth does not match up with the words they are saying. But it's also an action movie that reeks of the 90s. It's got a bunch of guns and swords, and the main character has awesome hair and looks like if a protein shake took steroids. And it was directed by a mysterious foreign director who spent his entire career making direct-to-DVD action movies because he loved Lethal Weapon. I'm sorry, but that's awesome. But I really want to set the stage for how weird and bad this movie is, because I've talked about a lot of bad movies on this channel, but none of them come close to this one. Like, this might be the only movie I've ever seen where the actors gave up on it while filming.
We just thought, okay, this is ridiculous. Let's just get through it.
That, by the way, is the lead actor, who is super jacked because he used to be one of Sylvester Stallone's bodyguards, and then he was cast for this movie. He also cut his hair before they made him do a bunch of reshoots. But don't worry, it's not noticeable at all. They also didn't hire a choreographer for any of the fight scenes, which is crazy because this movie is almost entirely fight scenes. So they just made everything up on the spot. Anyways, that's enough talky. Let's do more movie. So this movie takes place in Los Angeles, where the newly formed Katana Gang wants to take over the local drug trade. There's two things you need to know about the Katana Gang. One, they're Japanese, somehow including this guy. Yes, this actor, who was born in Chicago and raised by Lithuanian parents, was cast to be a Yakuza member named Yamashita. And he's not a side character either. He's one of the main guys. The second thing you need to know is just that this guy has an awesome mustache. Not really relevant to the plot, but I just didn't feel like I could breeze by it without saying something. The Katana Gang decides to take out a different gang because they wouldn't join them, and it kicks off this big fight scene which perfectly sets the tone for the rest of this movie.
Mr. Fujiyama doesn't want to waste any more time. Come on, let's get going. Move it.
You did it.
To be honest, this scene doesn't even really matter. I just couldn't not talk about it. Like, the Katana Gang is a Japanese gang. There is not a single Japanese person here. This dude who got stabbed just straight up disappears for a few seconds. And this dude whips out his gun and then doesn't appear in the rest of the scene. And then when this gangster gets shot, it's from this guy who's sitting on the ground. And then in the very next clip is clearly standing. It's actually pretty overwhelming how many things are wrong in just this one scene. And I could talk about it for a while. Like, it turns out they didn't actually forget about that guy, because I realized while I was writing this script, he's the one who fired the gun. You can tell because he's a lefty and he's holding the gun with both hands. Whereas the guy on the ground is a righty and only using one. You can even see like the edge of his watch. So why would they show this guy shooting? Does it matter? No. Not even a little bit. But it matters to me, and I simply need to move on because I cannot emphasize this enough. Every scene is like this. Also, there's this guy that keeps trying to tell you about this video's sponsor. I don't know what's happening there, but I do know what's happening for lunch thanks to CookUnity. CookUnity is a chef-to-you meal delivery platform that connects you with hundreds of fresh, fully prepped meals from award-winning chefs. With CookUnity, you can choose from over 400 meals nationwide each week, including over 45 global cuisines and diets, and all meals are handcrafted in small batches in local kitchens near you. There are over 130 chefs on the platform, including Food Network stars, James Beard Award winners, Michelin-starred masters, and my boy Jose, who made one of the most delicious burritos I've ever had in my life, and I'm not even exaggerating a little bit. Also, meals are delivered fully cooked, so all you have to do is heat them up in 2 minutes or less, and you're ready to eat. There's a lot of things I like about CookUnity, like how the food's actually really good, and how easy it makes it to follow any particular diet, like a high protein or a low calorie. But my favorite thing I've never heard anyone talk about is how it was just one less decision I had to make during my day. Sometimes I'm really bad at making decisions, and I'll waste a stupid amount of my day just trying to figure out what I want for lunch. I want something yummy, but it also has to be healthy, and I don't want to cook. But with CookUnity, that wasn't a problem because I had a bunch of fresh, fully prepped, healthy, yummy meals right in front of me. Plus, I don't have to spend any time meal prepping for the week, which for me takes multiple hours and uses every single pot and pan in my house 48 times. Head to the link in the description now to try CookUnity and get 50% off your first order with my code JamieRegan50. Again, that's the link in the description or the QR code on screen now and code JamieRegan50. Thank you to CookUnity for sponsoring this video, and thank you to Chef Jose for that burrito. Now these are our two main characters, Frank Washington and Joe Marshall, who are police detectives for the LAPD. Joe was called in from the San Diego Police Department to help take down the Katana Gang, and there's two things you need to know about Joe. One, they call him the Samurai Cop because he speaks Japanese and was trained in the way of the sword. Two, he fucks, and it's a big part of the story. Joe and Frank get tipped off about a deal the Katana Gang is doing, so they set out to try and catch them.
We're gonna go catch us some bad guys.
Good luck.
There's the blue van over there.
So the van belongs to the Katana Gang.
Yeah.
You can tell these two are experienced cops by the way they illegally parked and then didn't catch the bad guys. Masterful gambit, boys. Here's your pension. They call for helicopter backup, which doesn't make a lot of sense considering this is a stakeout, not a police chase. And a police helicopter hovering over your car as you try to do a crime might tip you off that something's going on. But judging by the 15-second uninterrupted shot of this well-known LA helipad, I don't really think this was the most thought out scene. I think the director was just looking for a way to expense his helicopter ride.
Peggy, where are you?
I'm landing.
No, don't land. We need you. Peggy, you hear me?
Yeah, Frank, I can hear you.
I don't really know what happened to Peggy in that first shot, or why she sounds like the robots that speak for people who smoke cigarettes through their throat holes, but I'm glad she recovered.
Watch for the boat.
It's all boats, Frank. Are you stupid? Yes, but we'll talk about that later, because it's far more important you see how that conversation ends.
Just keep an eye on the van, Peggy. They're gonna make the swap somewhere in the marina. Just stick close to them.
Okay, Joe. Keep it up.
Oh, it's up and ready. You just keep it warm.
It's warm and ready.
Excuse me? I have so many questions. Like, why is she describing her like it's a Little Caesars pizza? That's an insane thing to do, especially in front of your coworkers who seem way too supportive of this. Also, I'm like 90% sure police radios are public, so all the undiagnosed scanner hobbyist dads are probably getting a real show when these two are on shift. Unfortunately, all of Joe's blood is flowing to the wrong head because when he's done sweet talking Peggy, he tells her this.
There's a boat headed full speed towards the van.
Good. Just follow.
Try to stay out of sight, Peggy. I don't want you scaring them off.
They're in a bright red helicopter in the sky. They couldn't be more visible if they landed on the fucking boat.
It's warm and ready.
Of course, Joe and Frank let them get away once again, but that's fine because they cut them off at what Joe says is their only way out.
We'll have to come by this way. It's the only road out.
I mean, at this point, I'm just impressed at how many plot holes they can achieve in a single sequence. This is so clearly a different road. How did they think no one would notice? It's actually so distracting, I almost didn't notice this person who's just chilling in their front yard. What happened to the marina? Why are we going on a police chase? Joe just said this is the only way out. What happened to that? Is he a liar? Did you lie to me, Joe? Is Miss Frizzle driving that van? Is that how they teleported? Are teachers paid so poorly in this country that Miss Frizzle had to pick up a second job as a Yakuza getaway driver?
Shoot! Shoot him!
Hold on!
You got him! Hey man, watch it! Watch it!
Oh, man.
Hey, let's call for backup.
We'll call him when we need him.
Shoot him! Shoot him!
You got it.
Yeah, I got the best.
Eventually, the chase comes to an end when Frank shoots the driver in the neck, causing him to drive straight into a wall, where his car promptly explodes.
Burning! Man, he's burning! Hey, we gotta do something! happened, man?
Come on, man, roll him. Put the blanket on him. That's it. It's enough.
I really like how frantic the voice acting is, yet the man on fire is remarkably casual. You can really tell this is something he's done before, being lit on fire. I don't think he's acted before. Now look, this whole sequence has been pretty awesome, but I think my favorite part of the entire movie comes right after they catch the bad guy, because Joe is somehow able to have a conversation with Peggy, who, may I remind you, is flying a helicopter.
Good job, guys. Cause for a celebration.
You got it. I'll see you back at your place.
I guess I should have seen that coming. They were talking diabolically with each other. There were plenty of signs.
It's warm and ready.
I was just so distracted with Joe's ability to calmly speak louder than a helicopter. I was just unprepared for a hard cut to a 2-minute long scene. Also, that's way too long. I don't feel like I'm watching a movie anymore. I feel like I'm intruding. At this point, pretty much the film's entire budget had been spent on the helicopter and that explosion, and we somehow still have 85% of this movie left. Joe and Frank head to the hospital to try and interrogate the guy they shot and then set on fire, but unfortunately he was burned so badly, his entire body, including his face, is covered in bandages.
Do you think he'd be able to answer a few questions?
No way, his lips are burned.
So what? He'll never be able to talk again?
Oh, he'll talk again, but you just have to give him a couple of weeks.
So obviously with him too hurt to speak, they pretty much only have one option.
Do you like what you see?
I love what I see.
Alright, I was more so thinking, come back in a few weeks.
Would you like to touch what you see?
Yes, I would.
Would you like to fuck me?
This is the problem with this movie. It has taken me so long to write a script for this, simply because every moment is so absurd. I want to show you everything. Like, does the rest of this interaction matter? No, but I have to show you it.
Well, then let's see what you've got. Doesn't interest me. Nothing there.
Nothing there? Just exactly what would interest you? Something the size of a jumbo jet?
Have you been circumcised?
Yeah, I have. Why?
Well, your doctor must have cut a big portion of it off.
Hey, don't worry. I got enough. It's big.
I want bigger.
Hey, I have,
All of that happens just to establish he can't speak, which also pretty much becomes useless because immediately after they leave, the Katana Gang sneaks into the hospital and cuts off his head, which I probably can't show because it might get the video removed. The chief then gets mad at Joe and Frank, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense why.
You're the one that talked me into bringing this moron from San Diego to fight the Japanese Katana Gang. This man has been here 1 week and I almost lost my job.
Hey, I've been here 1 week.
And just how long will it take you to bring them to their knees? 1 week?
I get why the writers want the chief to be mad at them. You know, it's kind of buddy cop movie 101 that you piss off your boss in the first third of the movie. It just kind of makes no sense. The chief is mad at Joe for not cleaning up the Katana Gang in a single week, but the Katana Gang was such a big and difficult problem that you had to call him in. He's also mad that the suspect died while in the department's custody, but they weren't responsible for watching that room. It was this cop whose only job was to watch that room. But then he got too distracted tracking his ex-girlfriend on flock cameras or something and let him get murdered. And why do they keep doing weird cutaways to Frank making these faces? He does it the entire movie, and it never makes sense.
Look, Captain, why don't we give Samurai here a second chance? What do you say, huh, Cap?
I feel like somebody stuck a big club up my ass. You son of a bitch! Come back here, you motherfucker!
Why would you not just cut that part out? Joe and Frank learn about a restaurant where the head of the Katana Gang hangs out, so they go and check it out in what turns out to be one of the weirdest scenes in this entire movie.
So you're the infamous boss of this shit Katana Gang, huh?
Look, officer, you have no right insulting my client. You have nothing on him.
And yes, we have.
Officers, if you have anything against me, then book me. Otherwise, as they say, get the hell out of my face. This is America, land of freedom and law. A man is innocent until he's proven guilty.
I'll sue you and the department for this insult to my client.
Now I'm telling these son of a bitches that we respect the Japanese of this country who are honest businessmen. And yeah, this is the land of opportunity for legitimate business, not for death merchants who distribute drugs to our children through schools and on the streets. Now I'm telling these motherfuckers that if they continue killing our children to make their precious millions that they deposit in their secret Swiss bank accounts, before your lawsuit even gets off the court clerk's desk, I'll have their stinking bodies in garbage bags and ship them back to Japan for fertilizer. Got it? Excuse me, miss. By the way, what's an all-American girl like you doing with a geek like this? See you around.
I understand every word they just said. Yet somehow, the only thing that made sense was Joe dropping everything so that he could hit on that woman. Which was further emphasized when he grabbed a staff member on the way out to make sure she got the point. And it's kind of the weirdest interaction imaginable.
Who's that blonde girl?
Oh, her name is Jennifer. Her mother owns the place.
Where's her father?
Bang!
Killed? Who shot him?
He!
Who?
Him!
Oh, he committed suicide.
Yes!
When you see Jennifer alone, tell her I think she's very lovely.
I'll do that. I'll help you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I like cops.
What's her name?
Alfonso Rafael Federico Sebastian. This is my first name.
That waiter is such a distinct character that has no impact on this story, and we'll never see them again. Meanwhile, Yamashita and his goons, none of whom seem to be Japanese in the slightest but are all in a Japanese gang, follow Joe and Frank outside and try to kill them. Look, for all its flaws, they do know how to make a fight sequence. I'll give them that. Maybe they didn't need the choreographer. I mean, is it very realistic? No, absolutely not. Joe tries to fist fight a katana, but objectively, it's pretty awesome.
So what are you gonna do? Fight this guy barehanded?
Eventually, after Joe cuts this dude's arm off with the katana, again, pretty awesome, Yamashita pulls out an Uzi that he just had stowed away, and then proceeds to only shoot his own guys. And then he just throws a grenade and casually leaves. They don't even try to stop him. Frank is solely worried about his car.
God, man, look what they done to my car. Captain Roman's gonna burn my ass.
Yeah, he's gonna burn it. Charcoal black.
It is black.
Right on.
No, I'm just gonna move on. One thing I genuinely appreciate that this movie does is they never have frustrating dialogue. I mean, sure, half the time it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but there's literally nothing I hate more than when I'm watching a movie and they do the whole miscommunication trope, or like a character won't say the one thing you're begging them to. Not in this movie. Like back at the station when Fujiyama's lawyer is talking to the chief.
Mr. Fujiyama is very upset. I mean, he has every right to be. But frankly, I don't give a damn.
But Captain Roma, let me warn you.
Fuck you and your client. Get out of here, you asshole. Leave me alone. I'll see you in court. You motherfucker, I'll see you in hell. Leave me alone.
What a diva. I love it. So many movies would have just had the chief cave to the lawyer, fire Joe and Frank, and then the rest of it is them doing the case. But not this one. Instead, they focus on actually interesting and important plot lines, like Joe returning to the restaurant and trying to sleep with that woman.
You're a police officer. Questioning is the nature of your business, isn't it?
Yeah, but my visit today is simply social.
Why?
Why would they do a close-up on her face for a line you clearly didn't record? It doesn't even kind of look believable. Joe goes on to explain that Fujiyama is actually a dangerous criminal, and then he asks out Jennifer multiple times.
How would you like to eat somewhere else for a change? With me?
I'm sorry, I can't. I'm really busy.
Well, you're the boss. Can't you get somebody else to do it?
Not today. My bookkeeper's coming by later.
How about tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Friday, and that's one of our busiest days.
All right, Sunday. Sunday it is.
Sunday I go to church.
You know, for what it's worth, aside from the pretty bad voiceover, it's probably one of the most clear and easy to follow scenes in the movie. So it makes perfect sense that it immediately cuts to Joe getting jumped.
What are you gonna do, shoot me?
Move! Stay back. This guy's mine.
Yeah, when I saw the way he was holding that bat, I knew how that was gonna go. Joe then pretty much kills two of the guys with the baseball bat, and then chases down the third guy who tries to run away.
Tell me who hired you.
I don't know.
Tell me who hired you to kill a cop.
Joe, what do you mean, who hired you? There's absolutely no way you haven't pieced it together by now. You're a detective, yet you can't figure out this two-piece puzzle? Thankfully, the goon did tell him it was the Katana Gang, so they go to arrest them for hiring assassins to kill a police officer. But then, like, why didn't they try to arrest them for trying to kill two police officers earlier? I don't know, I feel like you probably should have done that.
Who's going to answer to Captain Roma on this?
You.
Shit, man. You burned my ass.
You don't have to worry about that. It's already,
Yeah, I know. It's already black, huh? This time he probably cut my dick too, huh?
You better come to my house before you report to the captain. Let's use it before you lose it.
Like, see? What is going on? They're about to raid a house. Frank's talking about his ass. Peggy's talking about Joe's dick. Johnson's just pissed off, and I don't blame him.
Peggy, you and Johnson go around the front. Frank and I are gonna go around the back.
Hey, preacher, you and I got nothing to do. Let's fuck.
Shut up.
Okay, Peggy. I think the only person hornier than Peggy is the dude who wrote this movie. Because the raid starts with them sneaking up on two people who are having sex. It turns into a pretty long chase sequence, and to be honest, compared to the others, it's kinda lackluster. Except for this part where he dives through the window. That was actually pretty awesome. Eventually, Joe decides to fistfight Okimura, but then he grabs Frank's gun, so Joe just shoots him. Fujiyama's upset that his boy Okimura was killed, so he hires people to go break Frank and Joe's legs.
We cannot kill any of them now, but we should punish them somehow. Call New York and get somebody to break both of those samurai cops' legs.
Excuse me, where did the tall guy with the ponytail go?
He's upstairs with my boss.
Are you expecting anybody?
No.
That's a warning bell.
What happened to breaking their legs? Literally, the scene before this was him saying, "Do not kill them." And then these dudes brought a fucking shotgun. And of course they don't do anything with the shotgun. They kinda all just get shot like they're stormtroopers. And I'm not even joking, it just hard cuts from this into another scene. This one with Yamashita, in case you were wondering. Elsewhere, Joe is trying his best to get us a fourth scene in this movie because he shows up to Jennifer's church to hit on her.
Yeah, I was in there preaching. Didn't you see me?
No, you weren't. Stop kidding me.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
He kind of makes it seem like he has to interrogate her, and then he just kind of brings her back to his house.
Hold on. I have to ask you some more questions.
Police questions?
Well, let's just say some questions.
Is this your house?
Yeah, I own it. Month to month.
How did you know I'd come home with you?
I don't know. He kind of made it sound like you legally had to. Fujiyama finds out that Jennifer left with Joe, so he does pretty much what any jealous guy would do. He sends people to murder him.
She left with the cop.
Kill him!
My pleasure.
So Yamashita sets out to murder Joe, but he doesn't know where Joe is, so he goes to Johnson's house, somehow he knows where that is, and kills his wife.
This is Washington's address. Chuck, you and your brother go there, we'll go to the policewoman's.
While that's happening, Joe and Jennifer decide to make out on the beach. Could someone tell me why Jennifer has a bathing suit? Because she was at church before this, and then she thought she was going to the police station. Over at Frank's house, the boys get real busy trying to cut Frank's dick off.
What do you want?
I want information.
What kind of information? What information about my butt?
Sit down. Oh, yeah.
Hey, take it easy, man. Come on. What do you want?
I can kill you now, or I can relieve you of this gift. This black gift.
I really like that they clarified that Frank has a massive penis. I mean, this clearly Japanese gangster can't even focus on threatening him without acknowledging the elephant in the room. Or should I say horse? Get it? Because his dick is huge? Frank and his, quote, black gift manage to take out the goons, and he tries to call Joe to give him a heads up, but he's too busy playing mermaids with Jennifer. Over at Peggy's house, she's busy pulling leftovers out of the fridge, which is actually a subtle nod to the fact that Joe no longer needs her to keep it warm.
It's warm and ready.
Hey, baby.
Why did she have a loaded gun there? That's where oven mitts go. You had a loaded pistol? Is it in case someone breaks in? Because I don't think it worked very well. Yeah, that's a completely different gun. Does she have guns in all of her drawers? I mean, who even needs forks and knives when you have an M1911? Time to cut this steak. Also, I was so distracted by the guns, I didn't even notice no one even hits her. Not that people need to be like hitting women. I don't think I'm firmly on the record against that. I think maybe we should just get back to the movie. Yamashita then pours boiling oil on her so that she'll give him Joe's address. But I really hope that Yamashita doesn't tell her what he finds. She's already having a really rough day, you know, with the 3rd-degree burns and all. She doesn't need a broken heart as well.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Holy fuck, Joe is jacked. No wonder this dude pulls so many women. He is built purely out of testosterone and hair. It's such a shame he had a body like this before you could use it to sell $1 billion worth of supplements. Imagine the societal damage he could have caused to young, impressionable men if he was simply able to start a podcast and become a grifter. Life just isn't fair. Anyways, Joe completes his mission to fit a 4th scene into this movie. Again, for some reason, it lasts over 2 minutes. I don't know why I said for some reason, if it's not obvious by now. The director's a perv. But don't worry, he's dead now. Frank is finally able to get through to Joe, who for the first time in this movie has his wits about him. It is remarkable what a little bit of post-nut clarity does for a man. So with his third eye now open, Joe and Jennifer are able to make a smooth getaway, only for Joe to get yelled at by the chief.
I should fire both of you. And because of you, I'm about to be fired. But you know something? I don't give a fuck. I want you to find that motherfucking Japanese gangster. I want you to kill him, and I want you to kill every one of his men. I want you to turn his house into a bloodbath. Don't leave anybody alive. See you in hell.
Again, such a diva, this one. I mean, I don't know how they managed to keep the chief as just a side character. Like, at least give him a sex scene or something. There's already 94 of them.
Oh, it's up and ready. You just keep it warm.
Frank and Joe head to the Katana Gang headquarters with the sole goal of killing everybody there.
Why did you come under?
I'm an undercover cop.
Which leads to them just blasting and killing a ton of dudes, including this guy who does not know how to act like he's being shot.
All right, samurai, drop your gun, or your sweetheart will be dead. Now that she loves you, you have to worry about her life, not me.
Neither do I.
Frank, what the fuck? He had no clue you were there. You would have had the perfect shot if you weren't so busy clip farming.
Drop the gun, Frank. He's not stupid. He doesn't want to do the killing himself.
You American cops aren't as smart as I thought you were. Your cinnamon always gets in the way of your intelligence.
Your cinnamon always gets in the way of your intelligence? What does that even mean? I tried to look it up. They're the only people who have ever said that.
It's your turn now, cop. Say sayonara.
No!
He's not as smart as I am. To do what? Put on a bulletproof vest, man.
With Fujiyama dead, there's only one person left to kill, Yamashita, the most Japanese of them all. While they're tracking him down, Joe also tries to box another guy with a katana. I don't know why he keeps doing that. And then after a few more minutes of blasting, they are finally able to track down Yamashita. And since they're both white dudes who are uncomfortably obsessed with Japan, they decide to drop the guns and fight with katanas. After a pretty hilarious fight, Yamashita tells Joe to kill him because it's the code of the samurai.
Kill me.
No, Joe, you're a cop.
You just killed 40 dudes and now it matters that you're a cop? What's gonna happen? You get placed on paid administrative leave? Maybe they'll do an internal review? I know there's a lot of internals being reviewed at that office. Isn't that right, Peggy? Oh, and then Yamashita stabs himself with a katana. And then the movie just kind of ends with Joe and Jennifer getting busy on the beach. Now, after this movie became popular many years later, Matt Hannon, the guy who plays Joe, did an interview with Red Letter Media, and he gave us a really interesting look behind the scenes about what was happening. Like all the voiceovers, which sounded like shit.
Let's fuck.
Shut up.
Was because much of the movie was filmed in a single take without sound. And then a lot of the actors refused to return to dub their lines, so Amir just did it himself.
That's why it was funny, because even in the looping, like I've said before, 80% of those voices are Amir.
And then he tried to distort them, which he clearly didn't know how to do. The scenes at the beach house and them jumping over that fence, both completely ad-libbed. Also, they did Frank pretty dirty because all of these weird close-up shots that kept happening were filmed months after during reshoots, and he wasn't given any of the context of what was happening.
And then, yeah, him and I and Mark were either doing our close-up, like when Mark laughs, Amir would just say, okay, laugh. Mark didn't know why, so that's why he's so funny in the movie, because he just has no reference. It's completely out of context, but yeah.
You also might have noticed some little details, like the same 3 to 4 guns being used in every fight scene. And that was simply because that's all the prop guns they had. Which doesn't sound that crazy until I remind you, Amir is a director who dedicated his life to making action movies and had made 4 before this one. He had made as many movies as he had prop guns. He actually shares a lot in this interview and it's pretty funny, so I'll link it in the description if you want to go check it out. Also, they made a Samurai Cop 2. So if you want me to check that out, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. I don't know how good it is since Amir died before making the movie, but maybe we'll find out. Cool. Thanks for watching.